Beyond the Cursed Mirror is special. Really special. This is one of those ROM hacks that comes out once in a lifetime. Or every 2 years. I can remember this being teased during at least one F3 presentation, and I've been looking forward to it ever since. Right from its opening sequence, it is clear that this is not just a regular ROM hack. An expository dialogue box explains the origins of the parasite moon, taking the form of a void of nondescript figures watching from afar. Mario is assigned a mysterious task by a mystery person known only as the showrunner. You have this rainy, mysterious atmosphere as the opening credits fade in and out of the screen, like a modern AAA prestige game. I half expected to see a Hideo Kojima game pop up. The castle we all know, now decrepit and broken. Mario sees his reflection turn into a corrupted version of himself before destroying the mirror, unlocking a portal to a new, bizarre dimension where he is now the subject of a TV show. Now that's how you open a video game. From its very opening moments, I was asking questions, trying to make sense of this strange new world. And you'll see this a lot in the game's story. It prods your imagination with bizarre plot details and gets your mind racing without stooping to never-ending exposition and dialogue. And then you have the new, weird characters, the showrunner, ghostly depressed toads, mysterious figures who aren't explained at all, and a plot that is far more complicated than Bowser kidnapping Peach again. And this is when I realized that I was playing a classic Paper Mario game this whole time. Look, they even got badges and a leveling system. No joke. Right before you start, you get a rundown explaining some of the new mechanics, most notably the ability to level up by using stars and coins. Every time you level up, your health and mana bar gets a little bigger and you can equip more badges. Mario is usually the type of game where the player themselves has to level up, because there are no real upgrades, but this added dynamic increases the incentive to go exploring and hunt everything down so you can make yourself literally better at the game. There are also wallet upgrades which let you hold more money, which can be used for the more extravagant badges. Because coins can also be used to buy badges, which tangibly improves your ability to overcome the game's obstacles, there is an actual incentive to collect the coins other than just getting your health back in the 100 coin star. And there are some really helpful badges in here. There are badges that let you regain health and mana, badges that let you swim faster and breathe underwater, ones that mitigate certain types of damage, and even one that shows you where the current star is in the mission. That alone is extremely helpful. As much as I love the exploration in Mario 64, sometimes I play these big-ass ROM hacks and I have no idea where the hell to go. The badges are one of the coolest things about this hack because they fundamentally change what the game design is capable of. You can make levels more challenging and obtuse than you could without them because you think, alright, well maybe I can beat this part if I get a badge. There's also a set of badges that makes the game harder, including one that straight up deletes your save file if you die. That is some scum bastard shit, but I gotta give him credit for even considering that as an idea. And overall, the game is relatively easygoing. They don't even kill you for falling off cliffs, which is great. Of course, not every single part is super polished, but most of the time, this is pretty fair. There is also an entirely separate set of badges that acts entirely as cosmetics for your Mario, which is a lot of fun. One of my favorites is Disco Mario, where his clothes change color as you go. Badges aside, the game is still very much Super Mario 64, but with the addition of new enemies and tweaked mechanics. There's a mini-map in the bottom right that makes navigation way easier. There's a Bullet Bill hat that propels you through the air, which makes platforming a whole lot of fun. Probably my favorite change in this game is the fact that the flying cap allows you to shoot jet blasts out of your feet to propel yourself higher instead of just having the flying squirrel controls where you're just swooping upwards but gradually falling victim to gravity. Literally. There's a pipe that lets you slide down ropes. There are more elaborate puzzles to solve, like this one where you have to lure a bull into charging a bullseye, but you gotta be careful otherwise he'll kill you. Welcome to Super Mario's Super Bullfighting! Toto! Oh! There's also this timed game within almost every level where the game spawns 5 gold rings and you have to run around the stage finding them before the time runs out. There are also mini games outside of the levels, like there's one where you're playing Snake but with Marios in 3D. That's a lot of fun. There's another where these happy f***s start multiplying and trying to kill you. There's one where you have to fight infinite waves of enemies, and then you play a game where you gotta dance around on the floor while this Weebus song and dance starts blasting in the background, and you have to stay on the white parts to get points, and it's f***ing impossible. I have gotta start watching more anime. And that is the last time I will ever say those words. Graphically, this mod has a couple of tricks up its sleeve that aren't there in the original game. It's not a graphical showcase, but you're gonna notice it. One of my favorites is the Phantom Strider, where you're on a ghostly pirate ship and the lightning strikes every 3 seconds while the camera bobs up and down and back and forth to inspire feelings of seasickness. Mario's model has been trimmed down, but the soundtrack is what really puts it over the edge for me. The worlds feel far more animated and expressive than the base game. Mario 64's levels often feel more like vague concepts rather than actual places, which is fine because the game is fun as hell, but they very much feel like a video game level. Beyond the Cursed Mirror is kinda like the halfway point between Mario 64 and Sunshine, in that there are many levels that feel more true to life. My favorite being this big city with skyscrapers, bright lights, and Ferris wheels. You can go to the metaverse where everything is glowing synth tiles, and everywhere the cloaked figures in the sky are watching and judging your every move, almost like they were the person playing the game and reviewing it. Holy shit. Am I the bad guy in this game? It's also an incredibly cinematic experience. Boss fights are carried by epic, dramatic presentation. There's a chase scene where you're jumping across moving cars. There's a mini-boss on a train. The last boss is so insane that I'm not even going to show it because I don't want to spoil it for you. Dialogue and cutscenes are common in this game, shedding more light on the story as you go along. The writing is exceptionally good. It's not just well-aged meme stuff. There are actual vibrant personalities and mannerisms, while at the same time, lore and a plot, and it commits to it far more than most. There's this one part with a quiz show where this working class womp that you fought earlier starts using it as a platform to be racist against thwomps. He is also a proud representative of the LGBTQ community, and while they never specified which letter he is, my money is on B. Although there is an undercurrent of ominous uncertainty, the game remembers to be funny and entertaining, and with both of these things in balance, it is very easy to appreciate from both perspectives. There is a lot of replayability, to say the least. Even after you beat the game, there is more to it than meets the eye. I haven't gotten all 120 stars yet, but I'm pretty sure there's more to the story than I know right now. The tragic thing about spending 3 years making a game is that on the player end it's over in 10 hours, and that is the saddest thing about this long-awaited ROM hack. Eventually, it's over. But the older I get, the more I've learned to smile because it happened rather than be sad because it's over. This game was absolutely worth the wait, and I definitely recommend it to anyone. It is ominous and charming, it is polished and fun, and most importantly, it is beyond cursed. And speaking of cursed, tomorrow's video is in fact very cursed. I'd even say it's scary. Can you guess what it is? I can't give it away yet, but just understand this. If you don't show up, you may meet your doom. Merry summer, y'all.